Okay, Year 10, there's some questions to be answered here, and I'd like you to pause the video and copy what you see. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is write the area of each rectangle inside that rectangle. So we've got, for the first one, we've just got 5 across, 25 up, and that's 125 when we multiply them. We write them in all of the little rectangles in our histogram, and those help form our grouped frequency table. So that's the first question actually answered. So just to reiterate, it is the 10 across times the 10 you see off the scale that is the height of the block. Now that shows us the modal group because 200 is the largest frequency. If we add up our total, we have 775. What are these things? Phone calls, something like that. And if we divide that by 2, that gives us the midpoint of the frequency. And we're going to try and add our way up as we go along from the smallest to biggest until we get to this midpoint. So if we add up the areas, we get to 275, which means out of this third block, we want to take a little nugget of area that is equal to the difference of the first 2 blocks taken away from the halfway point. This gives us an area of 112.5, and that is equal to this area, which is 20 high and x wide. Now the x we figure out as 5, so x is 5.625, and if we add that on to the 10 that is the start of our block, the 10, we get to x equals 15.625, and that's the median. Now we do the same idea, the same principle for the lower and upper quartiles. We divide by 4. And then we take away the area of the first block to leave us with the area we need remaining to get 1/4 of the way through our data. So the block is 30 high, and we'll call it x again. So 30x is the area, and that has to be equal to 68.75. If we divide through by 30, we get 2.29 to 2 decimal places. So 2.29 minutes above the 5-minute mark, which is the beginning of each block. That's where we get the 7.29 from. Okay, finally, the upper quartile. This time it's 3/4 instead of 1/4. So we're going to find our way 3/4 of the way through the total area. Now, if we add up the blocks as we go along, we get to 575, which is just underneath the area we want. So we need 6.25 more into this final block, which starts at 30. So whatever, I'll put it down. Our height is 5. The area is 6.25. So to find x, we're going to divide. But let's set it up carefully. The area is 5x and 6.25. If we do the division, we get 1.25. And that is the amount we need to add on to 30 to get our upper quartile. Finally, the mean of the distribution, the mean. Now, we're going to get this more from the table than from the histogram. So we're finding the midpoints of each of these. And I've listed them there. Rewritten the frequencies down. And now we're just multiplying them. So we're multiplying across as we go through, midpoint times the frequency. What we're doing on the graph effectively is we're taking all this area and we're gathering it all together and saying it's all going to be, all those calls that are between 0 and 5 minutes, let's say they're all 2.5 minutes. And then we are adding up all those calls together. And as we do that, we add together these 6 numbers to get 16,437.5. divide that by the total number of calls, and that gives us 21.2 minutes. And that is the mean of the distribution. Okay, once you've made notes, you've got a couple of examples for you to do below this video.